Hang on, let me get a cushion to put behind me so I can get closer to the mic. Go down behind my back. Why are you on my back? There it is.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by the ever-controversial Fire Mikey, who's pretty nice. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
I feel like that was referencing a bunch of different things.
And yet it was referencing one thing.
Hmm.
Because it originally had one name, and now it's got two.
Two.
And it is controversial. But we'll talk about that later in the show. No! No, you're not two. I'm two. I'm two. You don't have a number.
I'm not. It's one of those weird cases where you're like, I am not a number, but I'd like to be.
How you been doing this week, Mr. Mikey?
I've had ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Yeah, I think that's fair from what you've told me.
Ins and outs. We won't go into it, but no, it's been okay. Busy enough week, but yeah.
Yeah, you seem like you were indisposed for the most part.
Maybe a wee bit overly pumped for Wednesday.
For this Wednesday? Oh, for Godzilla, okay.
Just this wee bit. Like, some of the negative reviews have started to come out, but the negative reviews seem to be like, there's a lot of monster fighting. I'm not sure there's enough people. And I'm just like...
Hang on, no, that's the point. The problem with the last Godzilla movie was there was too much people and not enough monster fight.
Yeah, as long, listen, if, like, from what I'm seeing, they're making the monsters like characters in this, so... There's your drama.
Really? Oh, that's good.
Because I'm on, Godzilla. I want him, what? If he's getting character stuff in there, perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing the Godzilla movie should be about. It should be about Godzilla. He's like, in the title.
Even the ones where he's not in it a lot, you have to get the feeling that he's not just a thing.
Yeah.
Although
I like when he's a bit more than just a force of nature, a faceless force of nature. Oh, well, he does have a face, but it needs to be a bit more behind just him being a force of nature. For me, at least.
Makes him more of a dick, but that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah, that's the point. He's meant to be an asshole. It's his planet.
He's your asshole, though.
That's true. Well, Mr. Mikey, I suppose we may as well jump into the news for this week. Going to start off with the easy stuff, the third-party stuff from Fiendish Doctor Wu, who we thought were gone, but aren't gone, but it seems. So they've not changed. They are still Doctor Wu. And they have shown off via their Weibo account the next load of accessories that they're going to be doing as little packs. We have weapons for Combiner Wars, Titan's Return, and Power of the Primes. These are Insecticons, obviously, because they kind of stretch through the 3 series. There's Battle Trap from Siege, right? That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there's Siege Chromia. And filler parts for Siege Ultra Magnus as well. So a few little bits here and there, nothing amazingly special, but bits to just tidy it up and give you that G1 feel.
Yeah.
So what do you think of, I guess, the filler parts, at least for Ultra Magnus, which seem to fill in his inner thighs? Is that right?
Yeah, and his arms.
And his arms as well, which is his forearms, his white forearms.
Yeah. I think these are nice. I kind of wish we had some comparison shots in here.
Yeah, they show us Ultra Magnus with... each shot of Ultra Magnus has him with all of his bits attached, and then we have a page that kind of... Oh, a picture, sorry, that just has the layout of all the bits, but just on the floor. And for me, not owning the toy, and I'm sure it's the same with you, Mikey, it just looks like a pile of white parts, and it's hard to visualize what that's actually doing, for the most part.
Yeah. But I think anything that reduces the amount of gaps in modern toys is a good thing.
Yes, it's a shame, but I get why modern toys are gappy. But it is always a shame when there's not like a flap or something just to cover it up.
Yeah.
So these are nice. I wonder, as always, how well they're going to attach into the figure.
There is that. They can be a wee bit unreliable at times.
And granted, I'm sure you can just like glue them in if you really wanted to, but... I think it's interesting to know if it's one of those things that is a requirement is on a piece by piece basis, or is like, oh, don't worry about it, you're fine. It's never going to be an issue here.
Yeah, that's kind of my big concern with these kits, is that you're buying them sometimes, and I feel like you're buying them because, oh, there's this one bit that annoys me, so here's a filler for it.
Yeah.
I think they have. Yeah, I think his smokestacks are now filled in. I think.
Oh, is that right? Oh no, yeah. Whatever you want to call the Ultra Magnus smokestack shoulder things. Yes,
and I think that's a good thing. But yes. Maybe I'd want to buy that, but I wouldn't want to fill in the arms. Maybe I'd want to buy something for the arms, but I wouldn't want to do the legs, etc. And I do think you end up paying more for a limited amount.
Maybe, but do you not think that if they sold these as small individual things, either from a business side they would lose money because it'd be like, oh, people only want these things, or do you think it could be a problem because they could jack up the prices on specific ones and make even more money for less? I think if you're going to buy an upgrade kit for a figure and it's going to do one thing, like it's going to fill in the gaps, I guess it's maybe better to fill in all the gaps. Maybe that's the reasoning behind it.
I don't know.
I can see where you're coming from, though.
Yeah, it's not so much this kit that I'm thinking of. It's other ones we've seen.
Do you have any like on the tip of your
tongue?
There
was the Age of Extinction Grimlock one.
Oh God, which one?
The Studio Series one that added on it added on bits and pieces to the tail that I think were good.
Okay.
But then it had a couple of extra pieces for chest and things, which didn't really feel necessary to me.
Right.
But it was they're big chunky parts, and it bumps up the kit price.
Yeah.
Or when they throw in extra weapons sometimes that don't really have anything to do with the character, but it feels like they're filling up a sprue.
Yes. No, I would agree there. When it wasn't part of the character model and it's just a random extra thing, that's where I go, is this necessary? Could you not just cut this?
There's one in here that I think that makes me go like, why?
Which one's that?
We'll get to it. But
I thought you meant for the Ultra Magnus specifically.
No,
okay, that's fine.
Magnus is unfortunately being used as an example when he probably comes off the best in that regard.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the next one is actually the one that you're talking about, because there's also an additional. I think this comes with the same set. It seems to suggest it does. Additionally, a new missile for Siege Hound is pictured. It's not clear if the part is part of the set or a different one. Is this the one you meant? Because it seems to be specific. Oh, right, okay. It seems to specifically be a missile part to go into his shoulder gun, and that's it.
To give him give it that sort of, because he's had that in the show a few times. I remember.
When the show?
When they went like, oh, it's a hologram projector.
Oh,
but also a missile.
Yeah. That's right. Yes, I was thinking of More Than Meets the Eye when I don't think he had anything on his shoulders. Did he?
Yeah, but he actually had a point then.
He did. He was there to rub off.
Remember when
Spike.
Hound mattered?
No.
Literally 5 minutes.
4 episodes, something like that. Because he was useful in the Heavy Metal Wars, because he did make that hologram of that giant Autobot, who I thought looked cool, but then as an adult realized it didn't look like it could transform into anything.
I think they gave that a name as well at some point.
No. Did they?
I bet they did.
Where's the third-party figure of him?
TF Wiki Hound hologram. I guarantee you I can find a name.
No, I'm not suggesting anyone goes out of their way and goes, you know what, Andy's right, we need to make a...
Halonix Maximus.
Fuck off.
Let's see what they say.
No.
Halonix. Halonix. It's pretty to do with Halon. Yeah. Decepticons scatter in fear at the mere sight of Halonix Maximus towering over even the mighty Devastator. This incredible Autobot behemoth could surely shatter mountains and sunder the ground with his merest step, but he need not even take that step, need not set 1 foot upon the battlefield. The most meager of syllables uttered by his booming voice is enough to break the fighting spirit of the hardiest Decepticon and even put the fear of Primus into Megatron himself, to such an extent that they don't bother to check whether he's actually there and not just a product of Hound's hologram. Sometimes he's called Halo, and has the call sign Gigantron.
Hang on, that sounds a bit too close to Gigantor.
He apparently appeared in, can you get it, Andy? The Fun Pub Fiction.
Ah.
Yeah.
This is why I can't write wikis, because my analysis would have been, he's a hologram.
Do you know the Titus shirt also has a wiki page?
Does it? Oh, yep. All right.
Huh. But from Revenge of the Fallen.
Okay.
Remember that? We're looking for a tighter shirt. There isn't one. They checked. I think that is literally the entire wiki page.
Wow.
Tightest shirt. Let's see. How do I remember this shit and I can't remember my own name?
I don't know, Mike.
Tightest shirt.
Oh, God.
This is the tightest shirt. These frat guys checked. And the one, that's not that tight a shirt. And two, the caption on the picture is, now you guys go back to doing something latently homoerotic, alright? Is that offensive?
Maybe? I don't know.
That feels
Could
like
be.
it's offensive.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe this missile will be just for Hound, or maybe it'll be part of the
Helonix
Ultra
Maximus.
Magnus set. I don't know.
Build Helonix Maximus, build a figure.
Ugh.
Hmm.
Maybe one day. Double Trap, that's the set. It's the P-47. It's going to be a pair of cool battle trap guns, G1 that can attach to him. So you've got the original gun that he came with, which was you'd kind of shoved on his shoulder, the kind of twin pointy laser thing, and then a Gatling gun. The Gatling gun is for the helicopter mode specifically, but it can also be held for the robot. And the twin pointy pew pew is for the truck vehicle car thing, and then obviously they can hold both weapons because that's how guns work. And the last one is for Chromius. So what does she get? She gets 2 swords and 2 pistols, quite thick pistols, Magnum-esque pistols.
This is the one.
Oh, because no,
Why does she have swords?
Guns
I get.
Has she not had swords?
No, never.
Oh.
She's used a spear a couple of times.
Oh, that would have been better to give her, like a spear and a shield. That would have been really cool, actually.
Swords,
like a Spartan shield, like a really big one.
Yeah, I mean, presumably these will fit into other people's hands, so you could give them to them, but why?
Because all Transformer girls have 2 swords and 2 pistols now.
I feel like that's stereotyping. We don't have a proper RC for that.
Don't we?
No, we don't. Like, we have RCs, but we don't have the...
Technically, we do, because we've got the Titans Return one. Granted, it wasn't a proper release, but...
No, and, like, it's not really our RC, is it?
Oh, no.
It's like, what if Blur and RC had a weird baby?
Yeah.
And then Aileron got really pissed at RC for having an illicit affair.
It's the Daniel mistake, as it's also known.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Daniel's in there as well.
He is. Oh. I can't remember what the headmaster was called, but it was something weird.
It's Daniel backwards.
Yeah.
Linad or something like that. Yeah, it's Linad. Because obviously we couldn't call it Daniel. That'd be weird.
Yeah, Linad makes more sense. But no, I can see, like, giving her pistols and these swords probably not the best. Would you have been more okay with the spear and shield?
Definitely, I would. Like, the guns, I'd like... They're okay, but I'd way prefer a shield and spear armor up.
I'd actually as well like a different head for her. Like, I really don't like the face on her. It's so bland and expressionless.
Yeah.
It looks more like a death mask on top of, like, a female robot's face than, like, anything. Doesn't look like it's a real face.
She can never show her face again until she is killed.
Yeah, maybe she's... You know how you got those white masks? And it's just like a mannequin face on it, basically. It looks like... To me, it looks like she's wearing one of them. And I feel it's a bit of a bummer. So if they could have done a new face for her instead of, like, the 2 swords, for me, that would have been better. But hey-ho, never mind. And the last set is the guns for the Insecticons. It's just their weapons from G1. So
cool.
Yeah, not very interesting, but good. On the basis that I always think it's a bit of a bummer that the Legends figures never got any kind of weapons. And I always felt like they should have at least one gun or something to hold. I don't know if you'd agree with me there.
I think that we need more weapons. Especially when they're molded to have weapons.
I mean, they were... It's meant to be that, any robot can hold any weapon. It's like, yeah, but it'd be nice if they came with a gun.
Yeah. Especially since very few people really swap out unless they're actually a child.
Yeah.
Children don't buy toys.
Not anymore.
They play their video games and their
Fortnites. Yes, get their loot box on. Mikey, are any of these sets really interesting you? Noting that we don't actually have prices or release dates on any of these.
Not really.
That's fair. That's fair.
You?
The only one I'd be tempted by, because it's the only ones I actually have figures for to upgrade with, would be the Insecticon one. Granted, I still don't have a kickback yet. One day I will get one. But
I don't believe kickback's real.
I keep putting myself off getting one on the basis that I go, if I got the Japanese one, I'd get Double Dealer's Headmaster as well.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever he was called. What was he called?
I can picture his face.
Yeah, same. With his stupid glasses and blue hair.
Yeah, Clowder.
Clowder, that's his name. Thank you. Thank you, Mikey.
And he was Double Clowder in Japan. Andy
That's
in
right.
Master Force. His
That's
name,
right.
Actually, Andy, I have to push up my glasses. Actually, his name was Clowder, and he was a stalker
Okay.
who then went on to get a weird combo combiner thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
From that was Power Links?
I don't know.
The one with the terrible drone arms. What were they
Drone
calling it?
arms.
Yeah. Remember, they came over here, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, the first combiners in years!" And like they were all spring-loaded. Smolder. Remember Smolder?
Oh, the Power Core Combiners.
Thank you.
Right, yes. I remember Stu loved them, but they were
Yeah, well,
terrible.
Look at Stu. Look at him.
Statements made. True statements, though. Well, Mr. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the next story?
Yeah, so Fans Toys have released images of FT42. Jesus Christ. Hunk. Not a hunka burning love, but a hunka of Brawn, a masterpiece Brawn in final color images. We get to see him from various angles. We get to see him with presumably an effect part that does not come with the toy, as he hurls Optimus Prime at things. We also see at least one of his accessories, which is a drill for his vehicle mode, and we see him next to their version of Warpath. So, Andy.
Mikey.
Is this a man you could shoot in the shoulder?
I wouldn't say no to shooting him in the shoulder.
Oh.
Yeah. I've never been a big Brawn fan.
No one is.
Season 1, Autobot, in the trash with you.
I thought his Autobot best who lifts things, and
his
was like, he's the strongest Autobot. Is he?
His best moment was getting shot by Megatron because it was fucking cool, and it was the first like, oh, what the hell is happening?
Yeah.
As this kid, is then everyone gets blown to pieces, and you're like, oh dear.
I think the problem with Brawn is Cliffjumper ended up with his personality.
Yeah, pretty much. Or they were so similar, and they were interchangeable. Because did they both pick on Perceptor? Or
no, Cliffjumper was more like yelling and yelling.
Okay, because I'm sure they basically have the same storyline with I don't trust you, Mirage, and I don't trust you, Perceptor.
Yeah, that was that. But like Brawn did nothing for years, then got like, hey, let's pick on the nerd, and then at the end of the story, it's just like, hey, we're friends again. No, we're not. You're a prick.
Yeah, you're awful. No, thank you.
That was like, hey, bullies, remember, eventually you'll break them.
Oh God.
That was the message show. That was a weird message show.
Was that the message that they were sending?
It certainly was the one that came across.
Okay. Bad times, I guess. Anything else there, Mikey? Or is that about it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of opinions on this guy, I have to admit. He's okay. He's a show accurate model, but we've had a good few Brawns right now, and apart from the fact he seems to have quite a poppy paint job, he's not doing a lot for me.
I want you to look at the front of his vehicle mode, Mikey.
Don't want to, because that's never good. Oh god, he's got eyes.
He does have eyes. Do you know who he is, Mikey?
Who is he, Andy?
Do you remember a old live-action children's show in the UK? I don't know if it was shown on Ireland, called Brum.
Yeah, oh Jesus, why would you remind me of that?
Because there was a show about a very, very old cow with a face that went around having adventures, I think it was.
Yeah.
Brum.
Yeah.
Show. Yeah. If you go on to Google, people, if you're interested, and type in Brum and show, it will bring up images of the car Brum.
Yep.
Was it just a UK thing? I'm pretty
yes.
sure this shit wasn't shown in America.
No, it was a very, very, very...
Oh God, there's a CGI Brum show? No,
What?
No, that can't be true.
No, you're making that shit up.
I've got an image of a CGI Brum, but I don't know if it's from an actual show or if it's just like hey, imagine if Brum was done in CGI now.
Oh no! Oh my God!
You see?
I don't like that. I
don't think it's real. I don't think it's a real show. I think it's just a piss take.
Let's find out. If someone revived Brum of all fucking things, it's like Brum 2000. Oh my God!
Oh,
Brum,
it's a real thing.
Originally 91, 94 for season, the ones we remember. It got revived between 2001 and 2002.
Oh Jesus! Brum was a shit car as well. Do you know why he was a shit car, Mikey?
Why was he a shit car, Andy?
He was fucking tiny. I've sent Mikey a picture of him next to two like actual cars, and he's like tiny.
Oh God, it wasn't. Oh my God, I feel so weirded out right now.
You're welcome. Brum. Brawn. Brawn is Brum.
Brawn is Brum, Brum is Brawn.
As the stars foretold, so shall it be.
As was known.
It is known, Khaleesi.
Don't know. Not the week for it, Andy.
Isn't it the perfect week for it?
Hey, remember the good times?
I do. I've been watching it. Shall I take us on to our next story, Mikey?
Please do.
It was the year of controversy. And by year, I mean week. And it's so weird because it does not feel like it's been a week. It feels a lot longer ago. I don't know if is that the same for you? Is it just me that feels like this happened a long time ago?
I don't know. It feels like it's been going on a long time,
yes.
But it's weird because it started on Monday, basically.
Yeah, and it feels like it's been at least 2 to 3 weeks, I feel, since
it's weird.
This came out. And this was the official images of Firebird. Is that the company Firebird? BigFireBird. Their EX-01. Nice. Not nice, but nice. With 2 E's
nice.
for some
yeah,
reason.
so it's more like Nicey.
Nicey!
I thought a lot of people calling it Nicee.
No.
I was just like, you're reading a very specific type of Japanese fiction into this?
Yes.
And I feel like it... No, because that comic's probably already been drawn for like 6 years.
Oh, well, her and Rat Trap are related.
Oh no, God.
Ara, Mikey. Ara.
That's combining many things.
It is. So yes, this was the figure that we talked about a while ago. This was the figure that set off a lot of controversy when it was originally announced, and we saw the CG renders and we saw the teaser images.
And our reaction was kind of like, this could be cool.
Yes, we've seen it in a full prototype grey and in its vehicle mode. I did think it was strange that even though we got these promo images which look like CAD models, I don't think it was an actual real picture.
The sort of like the roundabout pictures are CAD models. The prototype is the vehicle mode and the sort of like action side pose.
Yeah, and in the CAD models, I think it's strange that they didn't show the vehicle mode. Granted, there was only one image, but there was no indication of no visual of them in the vehicle mode. Though, like you said, for the prototype, it does transform. That's a fact.
Yes.
I don't know how, because it doesn't have a lot to work with.
I suspect when we say transform, we mean fold up. This is probably a Gundam alt mode, except you've got bits to put on the top to kind of pretend no, it totally transforms.
See, I think this is a really interesting thing about this figure. I have no idea how it's going to work because, as I mentioned, it seemingly doesn't have a lot to work with. So unless it's doing a lot of tricks that just aren't visible, it might just be at best a shell former.
Like, if considering those parts all come off as well for weapon modes.
Some of them do, at least, it seems.
Yeah, the back skirts. And, like, unless they're doing it as a separate release, she'll come with extra bits to turn her into, like, super magical girl, robot car girl.
Is that still happening? Because, again, those weren't shown in these images.
No, but, like, I'm assuming at least the parts are there. I'm not 100% certain, but Like, at the moment, I'm sort of assuming what we saw was just the version of the toy, and it'll come with extra parts.
Is she coming with a bow?
The skirt turns into a bow.
That's what I thought, yeah. I couldn't remember, but I was looking at the pieces hanging off her back, and I was like, that looks like whatever the bow part is.
Yeah, and she's got, like, a sword lance or something.
Yeah, again, only shown in the CG prototype images, not shown in either colored CAD model or the prototype image. The prototype image of the real thing does have her with the shield, but that's just the front of the car, so it's not like it's really anything special or doing anything amazing there, as far as I can tell. Unless it's a different piece.
No, that's
it's the back of the car. That's right. Yeah, sorry. I just had a look and went, oh, okay, it's the back. That's fine.
Yeah, the front is like her shoulder kibble.
That's right. And there were some with me and Mikey have both seen some people say that it's apparently going to have squishy boobs.
Okay, so I want to do, because I did the research on this. Like, I did a lot of research on this in the last week.
Okay.
A couple of Twitter users, and I want to talk about the reaction to this. Cause
sure. I wanted to talk about the figure before we talk about the reaction. I think that's important.
Yeah, so a rumor started up, and it was like, oh, I heard it's got squishy breasts.
Yeah.
And because in the pictures, the promo pictures, they do have one inset showing, like, yes, she has magnificent badunkadunks. Which I'm assuming is something people say. And that turned into, she's got squishy boobs. I have not found a single corroborated response from either the company or someone who knows of the company that she's got actual rubberized breasts. Now, we do know there is an Arcee out there with rubberized breasts and nipples.
Yes.
And multiple breast sizes.
Yep.
I'm wondering if these all got mixed into one, but I can say, like, maybe she does have it, because some action figures in Japan, they do that. That is a thing. But I can tell you that I can't find anything written down saying this figure is being designed with rubberized breasts. So, yes.
Citation needed, as I said before the
Wikipedia.
podcast. Exactly.
So if anyone does have a citation for that, please share it. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, but not something a friend of yours or someone you respect on Twitter said. I mean something where you can reference back to the company or someone connected to the company or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's the only way to, like, 100% guarantee that that's a thing. Because at least from the images, it doesn't... Like, the real prototype does not... Granted, a real prototype probably wouldn't have the rubberized boobs in it, because it just wouldn't make sense. But I don't see why they would add it.
Yeah. I mean, like, the fact that... The thing for me that kind of works against it is that the chest armor, just going by looking at both the CGI model and the prototype, that looks molded.
Yeah.
Which means they'd actually just sort of, like, have to have squishified the... And that's the term I'm using, squishified, the top part.
Yeah.
And, like, I can kind of get the logic of that, I suppose. Because, hey, if those are breasts, that would be the breast, and the pink bit would be the bra. But,
yeah.
Who's, like, for the entertainment value, I can't see you just standing there just poking the top of her boobs and going, like...
Yeah. Poking top boob, yeah. Besides Mike, everyone's about that underboob in 2019.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, like, you gotta love a bit of a classic push-up bra.
I don't know, Mikey. It's all about that underboob. That's where the kids are at, I guess.
I hope not.
And I would also say as well about the squishy boobs. Personally, if you want that, that's fine. I wouldn't.
No, me neither.
It just doesn't interest me, and also for lastability, I guess. I imagine, I don't know for sure, but I imagine
will crack.
Like pliable plastic degrades faster than hard plastic. That just makes more sense to me. And you know how rubber tires always kind of crack.
Yeah, I don't like it happens to there's a Gurren Lagann figure, and it happens to her.
What's
Yoko.
the name? Yoko. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I don't remember the line, but I remember this. But wasn't
it Reveltech? Because Chris had it, didn't he?
Oh, he had like 3 Yokos.
Yeah, I can't remember. Anyway.
But I still think this looks like a good action figure.
Yeah, it still looks neat. I'm still really interested to see how it works. As I mentioned earlier, it looks like a really good solid Arcee.
But it looks like she's got hand articulation. Sorry, I'm just looking here. Is it just me? Does she look like she's got hand articulation?
No. I think she's got removable hands.
All right.
I think those are going to be on like little ball joints like a Gundam model kit, and I think you'll be able to pop them out and replace them with the open hand for her to hold the sword. But maybe I'll be wrong. We find out that she is 190 millimeters tall. I don't know what that is in real people size. 19
centimeters. So
19 centimeters.
It's not 6 inches. She's about deluxe size, maybe a bit taller.
Okay.
I think, if I'm getting my sizes, I know I'm not. They're taller than that.
Okay.
I have a ruler around here somewhere, but I'm not getting up to use it. So she's not huge, is basically the thing.
No, that's fine. I don't mind that. We also found out, thanks to Mr. Jai, he let me know, that you can get this on tf-express.com. Yes. The pre-orders are up, and as Mikey told me, because I hadn't looked, but Mikey told me this, you can pre-order it now for £10, but there's no full price. It's just like a deposit of £10, and then, the real price will go up, I guess, when it's announced.
Yep.
So, Mikey, you said you had things to tell me about this.
Yeah,
this, I suppose. Things surrounding this.
So we're not going into the toy itself in huge detail because we've already said we think it actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd be interested, if it's not a crazy price, I'd probably be interested in trying to pick it up. Like, if I'm willing to try and get a Kill la Kill Figma, I am willing to get this.
I think you're lucky if you can try and get a Kill la Kill figure.
I said willing to try.
Yeah, good luck.
Like, to be fair, if I'm willing to consider getting Darkness from Konosuba, which is more shameful than anything else anyone's ever owned on the planet.
Yes, but she's not being released and been out for a very long time. She's coming out.
No, but she will be, and she'll be just she'll probably come with weird switchable faces and stuff.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, that's all Figmas have.
Yeah, but like I'm thinking specifically of her faces.
I know.
Stop trying to justify it, Andy. We know this is one toy you just like. This is a feature where it'll be less creepy than Woody.
Yes, but Woody was an unintentional creepy.
Woody do you remember the marketing photos? I don't think it was like they knew. I
don't know what they were thinking when they made that Woody figure, to be honest.
I don't know what they were thinking when they were advertising it, where they got other Revoltech figures from like Queensblade and had it posed like it was assaulting them.
Was that the official images?
Those were official images.
No.
It wasn't just Shishio or the other guys. I saw official images. I remember back in the day.
No, that can't be right.
Yep.
I thought that was just
company
people?
that made the Queensblade toys.
I mean, that makes sense, but...
But yeah, so before that, we are actually kind of digging the overall design and everything else. It looks like kind of a standard Japanese anime girl, but with Arcee bits and bobs. And does it have a good transformation, or is it just an action figure, Mm-hmm. Obviously, there is a section of the fandom, male and female, who are not quite seeing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Jai shared with me that this had gone up on Dime Chalk's Facebook. And like I said, part of the fun for me in this is that it's just, of course it is. It's mad. It's mad and fun and weird. So I put it up on Twitter, and I cannot say I expected things to go the way they did. Mm-hmm. This became the most liked and retweeted and commented post I think we've ever had.
Is that sad or really good?
I don't like... The interesting thing for me was how the demographics played out, right? So we currently, as I'm looking now, we have 104 comments, 496 retweets, and 1,210 likes.
That's not bad.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. And if you look into the analytics, we've shown up on between 50 and 100,000 Twitter feeds in the last week. Through people retweeting this and people commenting on their retweets or seeing them show up in their feeds or whatever. So that's kind of insane. But the really interesting thing for me here was how reaction shifted. So I went through as much of the retweets as I could and the comments as I could, but Twitter is a shit place to try and search those kind of things. So This is a broad demographic sweep. But the initial reaction, especially from female followers of ours or whatever, was 100% negative. Very, very vocally, this is anti-feminist, this is highly sexist, this is an atrocious thing, this is the worst toy ever made. And then the initial response from a lot of the men we had on our feed was supporting them, and so on. That was about the first 6 to 10 hours, right? And then this feed spread. This thing spread like wildfire, and we started getting people from the more fringe elements of the fandom, the anime fandom. We started getting people from China. We started getting people from Korea, Japan. We started getting people who are not part of Transformers fandom at all. And the sort of last major group to hit was the Twitter hentai artist circle. Yeah, very broad spread of male and female. And once it started getting beyond our immediate sort of social and follow groups, like the groups that listen to podcasts, right? The Radio Free Cybertron crowd, the WTF crowd, whatever. The nature of the response to this shifted dramatically. There were some women, heterosexual and lesbians, who were in favor of this. They said they liked the design, they thought it was cute initially, but they didn't. It was definitely like they were the smaller voice. Once we hit the wider circle, the number of women in support of this skyrocketed.
Right.
A lot of women were saying this looked really fun, it looked cool. They thought the idea of doing a Transformer in this kind of anime style was great. We also hit some men who were complete scumbags and started using this as an example how SJWs are killing toys because, oh my god, why can't they have fun with this? And I can't take anyone seriously when they start saying SJW in a sentence.
Yeah.
Then we started getting, broadly speaking, the response was, once we got beyond that circle of the initial crowd saying, oh, they thought it was good, beyond that, most of the women I saw retweeting, commenting, were saying, this looks cool. They were making jokes about how it looked, the breasts, whatever. And then we got in the hentai crowd of male and female and everything else, and that's universally positive.
Well, like not really surprising there.
I think this is important because, and I said this before, because a lot of the initial crowd attacking this are people who draw and engage with a lot of gay robot porn.
Sure.
And who created, and I'm not having a go at anyone whether you're drawing robot porn or furry porn or whatever porn, just you're into what you're into. It's your own business. Yeah. But, you know, people who would be drawing hardcore porn of, just being a little bit explicit here, Megatron getting a blowjob off Drift, say, were very vocally against this. And then once you got outside that circle and got into the sort of wider sex artist group who would draw everything under the sun, they were way more in favor of this. And we got a lot of women very vocally saying that they felt into this design or their sexual. There was an interesting response, and I asked the person if I could actually sort of paraphrase this, but it's from someone they're on Twitter, Trans Salamander, and they are a transgender lesbian, and they gave a very interesting response because they said, as a lesbian, they find this kind of imagery attractive, and they, from their point of view, the initial backlash was for them an attack on female sexuality. Because as someone who is attracted to this kind of artificial figure in animation style, why should she be made to feel ashamed because she finds this attractive?
Yeah.
And then on her comments, for her retweets, she had a lot of women come in, not mentioning a name here because I didn't ask for their opinion, but I'm a straight black female and I find this figure very attractive. A lot of people love the design, think it's a lovely spin on Arcee. One comment I was seeing on her feed a lot was, everyone else gets cheesecake, why can't we get a bit of cheesecake too? And again, from primarily women. And then the anime circles were very, hey, this is an anime action figure with robot bits. This looks like a good action figure.
Yeah,
like
that's kind of what we said as well.
That was the least sexual. Like, they were the ones that kind of got the bum's rush in terms of like, hey, this is to give anime nerds something to whack off to, was a comment I saw. That's a direct quote.
No, I believe you.
But the anime response was largely, oh, this looks like a kind of an action figure. Is it? And people were starting asking, like, is this sort of figure art style or Figma style, or what? Or is this going to have sort of an SRC vibe? I mean, how are they going to translate a robot design? Is this more a robot design or an action figure design? Was what I saw. Like, that was the least sexualized element of it.
Yeah.
I also saw some comments, and I got permission from them to say it, but I won't say their names just because I think they do not need this hassle if someone doesn't like what they're saying.
Sure, that's fair.
They felt that this was a negative reaction to sexuality.
Okay.
That this is well within the norm for bisoujo, beautiful girl, inverted commas, anime designs, which I really feel it is.
Bisoujo?
Bi whatever. I always say bi shoujo because I always say bi shonen.
Okay.
which is the
I'm
Pretty
not
Boy one.
sure.
But they made a very, very good point that there is an officially licensed figure or statue from Imaginarium, which is of an Arcee, which is her. Like, she doesn't have the breast, but she is very much leaning on a rock in a.
She's got the tiny panties and tiny
and
bra
big
kind of
thighs.
thing as well.
Big
I
thighs.
remember that figure coming out, and that caused a lot of discourse as well. Shall we say on the social medias?
But I would say
I remember people comparing
that. Could that
and this
come out,
together?
That predates social media.
Really? No.
Yeah.
There was a statue that came out.
But that one, the one you're thinking of, like, I remember that design from the early days of, like, I remember that one TF Wiki back in 2006.
Because there was one that we did talk about on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because it was new-ish?
Maybe-ish, but I'm thinking older.
Okay.
I remember,
I
think it used to be Arcee's profile picture on TF Wiki was of that design. But that's been an official piece of artwork for years. And that I would say that's more sexualized than this in some ways, because this is an action figure with action bits. That is just a lady on a rock saying, "Come and get some." But yeah, I found it really, really interesting and I'm not this. Please excuse my phrasing for this. Once you got past the insular group of die-hard Transformers fans, particularly die-hard UK Transformer fans, the attitude towards this thing did a 180 on top of itself. And I find that really, and like I said, once you got into the artist side of thing as well, just artists in general really liked this. There was one girl, she did a really nice piece of artwork for it.
Was that the one you retweeted?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
it's on
nice.
Like, again, I won't mention their name since I didn't ask for it, but if you go through my retweets, the piece of art, and they said they thought it was cute, they thought it was a cool design, and they had to do their own version of it.
Yeah.
And I thought, and then they said they were bad at drawing Transformers, and then I said, like,
disagree.
you're crazy lady, draw more. So yeah, I thought, I don't know, I found that really interesting because, like, Radio Free Cybertron did a podcast today, I haven't listened to it yet, where they said they're going to talk about it and the controversy. Transmissions is going to talk about this.
Okay.
WTF probably won't, but I think we're going to hear a lot of opinions that are based off of the immediate Transformers board response.
It wouldn't be surprising.
So I think
it might not be,
interesting.
of course.
Might not be. Fair. The lad. These are intelligent men and women, and they will make their own decisions on how they decide to portray this. But I find it really interesting that outside of the R circles, this thing is just like male, female, straight, gay, whatever. People are into this, and I find that really interesting. I'm like, what is it about R circles that are leaning that way? Like,
yeah, I think it just shows that there is out in the wider world, there's a large group of people that just have different thoughts and opinions, which is good, diversity of thoughts and whatnot.
Yeah. And like, we've come out and said we think this is a cool design, we want to see a bit more of it, but I'm also not going to say, because I saw this, someone ended up having to defend their position rather vocally to someone who was being kind of a misogynistic asshole about it.
Right.
And just like, as much as I would like to be allowed my opinion that this looks like a cool action figure, I think she or he or whatever should be allowed their opinion that this is pushing a few buttons they are not comfortable with.
Sure. Yeah, you can see why it would push buttons for a few people. It's understandable. Like, if you sit down and you go, okay, why could this annoy someone? I think it's easy to find out or to figure out why it would annoy someone. But on the other hand as well, I don't think that just being annoyed by something is a reason to say the product shouldn't exist.
And like those same people, like, they would not be buying the Figmas or anything.
That's the thing. Yeah.
I should also say, if you are against this, please don't approach this by shaming people who are into it and are not, like, being, like I said, misogynistic assholes about it.
Yeah.
Like, if someone just saying,
be a dick, I think,
because I saw comments like, I'd walk out of the house if I saw this on someone's shelf, and I think that is a broad overreaction. And also I saw some really funny response, like people putting up robot designs from other things, like Godanner. Like, someone said, this is like Godanner robot, or someone just put one up like...
What is Godanner, Mikey? For me and for the others that do not know of Godanner.
Godanner was a show I've been meaning to watch for years, because I was just like, what? What? Which is basically... The robots are kind of female and everything else, but they have Gynax level figures on the female robots, which means the bouncing is ridiculous from the trailers I've seen anyway. And I was just like, what? But the animation looks really good. And someone put up a tweet just now. It's not, putting it in perspective with the Aang leg from Super Robot Wars, which is kind of a pretty standard robot until you get to the chest, and it's like, those nipples are unusually large. It's just like, oh, this is a cool robot design. And I was looking, I don't get it. And then I realized, oh, the angle, those are literal missile boobs. But I don't know, we rarely get to see something released in Transformers circles that is then analyzed by outside Transformers circles and responded to. And I found it really, really interesting.
Well, maybe we do, but we just don't ever see it. That could also be a thing.
I'd like to see, did they see stuff like Mastermind Creation of Megatron and they think, oh, that's a cool robot design? Or did they just say, like, oh, Transformers nerds?
Yeah, especially because it's a third-party thing. How widespread does third-party Transformers get outside the fan base? Interesting. Yeah, it's an interesting thought. Yeah,
but yeah, like I said, if people wanna look into this a bit more, there is 1,000 likes and 500 retweets that you can try and track down. Like I said, searching Twitter for retweets and stuff is a pain in the hole, but check out what you want. It's interesting. And like I said, pre-orders are up if you want the figure, but
we still don't know on the price on it, so it might be stupidly priced. It might be ridiculously expensive, and if it is, I'd say don't buy it then.
Because like, if this thing is pushing 100, I would be dubious, because that would need a good transformation. Because that, like, action figures can cost that much.
Sure.
But they need to be, like, they need to come with enough for it. And she looks more like the Figma figure art.
See, I
was $50 range, $60 range.
I would combat that by saying, if it was very expensive, if it transformed and then also had a lot of accessories like the Figma, then you could justify it. If it's just, like you say, it's just, that's that.
Yeah, if she didn't come with the bits to turn her into the other angel robot lady thing, sure. I think, and she's high priced, I would say,
because if that's still a feature, the whole turn her into the magical girl with the magic bow thing, which we don't know, maybe it is, maybe it's not, it wasn't shown in the images, so it's hard to know, then that will 100% boost up the price on the figure, because it's an extra transformation feature, whatever you like to call it. So yeah. And if the guys who are making this, BigFireBird, want to contact us, we are more than happy to talk about it, because apparently Mikey, clearly we got a lot of traction with this. So.
I think we accidentally turned into the primary advertisers for this figure.
Which is fine, because both of us like the figure and want the figure, so I'm okay with that.
I think it looks fun, and I don't feel I need to justify that, and I think that's nice.
Redo her into Flame War.
Oh, now, see, that way you can justify it. It's in the fiction.
Yeah. Redesign the face and the head sculpt, boom. Yeah, I think that would be neat.
I kind of actually want that now.
Yeah, black, purple, and red. It's a good color combo.
But yeah, and if anyone wants to give us feedback on this, or wants something read out in the podcast, or wants to record something for the podcast, like, I would be very, very interested to hear, like, in a spectrum that is not simply a 150-word tweet.
That's always a pain in the ass.
As long as anything that's given is mature and respectfully delivered, I would be really interested to read them out and, like, at least have a bit of follow-up on this. Because, like I said, just the demographic shift. And if you're a new person listening to this who came in because of this figure, I'd also like to hear your thoughts. And, and if you're a hentai artist who came into this, hi. Yeah. I don't know what else to say to that except hi. It just popped into my head because I've still got one of the Twitter feeds open, and it's just like, not safe for work art, and I'm just like, oh yeah, hi.
Also, if you are listening to us and you came on through the, following Mikey's tweets and whatnot using the Twitter, then hello and welcome. Hope you're enjoying the show.
Always nice to have new people.
Yes, agreed.
Nice.
Anything? Nice. Oh, boo, Mikey. You lost the podcast credibility already.
Credibility?
Well, it's better to get it out of the way with sooner than later, I suppose.
We have no shame.
That's true. Anything else you want to say on this, Mikey?
I want to see some more prototype pictures, and Flame War, please.
I will say I was happy to see on the Chinese website page for the company that you sent me, if that's their official one, which I assume it is, the images of this figure were back up, because we mentioned before that they weren't on anymore. I checked a few days ago or whatever it was. These images, the promotional images, are up there now. So
I'm wondering if they just took them down because they were getting ready to put up the promos.
maybe, I don't know, because they scrubbed all of the images. But then again, now they only have like 3 posts on available to look at. So who fucking knows? Who knows?
I don't know. But,
No clue.
Hey, Windblade next.
Yeah. Through these guys, isn't it? And then are these guys doing the one for Flame Toys? Or I can't remember.
No, like okay, so that was something else. Some people were saying these were actually Flame Toys designers,
Right.
and I think they got that because Flame Toys are also doing a Windblade for the the model
Furayuki?
kit line,
Yeah.
and their Windblade is also a slightly sexy Windblade.
Right. I couldn't remember if they were the same thing or similar or what.
Although I have to admit, she's not that much sexier than she was drawn in the comic sometimes,
Sure.
where some of the artists definitely give her very pronounced robo boobs.
Hmm.
But I'll be honest, I just think that design looks cool.
It looks neat. Yeah.
I want to see this one, this guy's version of it, because going by the silhouette they give, like, she's going to have a battle skirt and a half.
Yeah. I think I remember that. It's going to be interesting. I look forward to seeing how this does. The most important thing, at least for me, about this figure is its quality control.
Yes.
Because if it might look fantastic, and anyone can have their opinions on it, but if the product itself is garbage, then for me, I don't care about what it looks like. I don't care about anything. If the toy's not good, I don't want it. If it's a good quality figure and I also like the look of it and think it looks cool, then we're gravy.
Yeah, there's no I think the best example of this was one of the first full third party figures we ever got, which was the Rolling Thunder.
Oh yeah, they tried to do the G.I. Joe Rolling Thunder Optimus Prime, and that was
we all were like, oh my god, we want that, and then people played it and they no. Or Captain Shark, remember Captain Shark?
Yeah, we were so on board with, well, not Captain Shark, but we were on board with his Brave version at least.
And then it was just like, nope, the toy will kill you.
Yeah, and it wasn't very good, apparently.
But hey, we did end up getting a good version of that Optimus from what I hear now. So maybe we'll get a good version of Captain Brave Shark.
That'd be nice. One day. I'd like them to do more. Maybe not Goldran. Maybe not Goldran.
Poor old Goldran.
Yeah, I mean, I like the designs for Goldran, but it's not one of the ones I'd rush to. But then again, I'd say maybe don't do Gao Gaiga because it has an almost impossible transformation to do in a satisfying way without parts forming heavily.
Yeah, and also, like, right now, I think you have enough options for Gao Gaiga.
There's a lot of Gao Gaigas,
like, maybe do, like, one, like, that weird flaming Genesic from the cancelled third version.
That'd be alright. I'd actually, I'm a big proponent of Firebird. I like his design quite a bit. But mainly I like the, not Firebird, the Shadow Dag one.
Oh, yeah.
Shadow Dag one's really
Start
neat.
doing the Transformer guys. The ones that were like straight, like, Redgeist.
Yeah,
that would be an easy one to do.
The issues I have with them, the Geists at least, are it's just, hey, he's Dezoros, but red. He's Scorponok, but red.
No, you have to do it show accurate, which is a lot more not
They do tweak it.
Yeah.
They do tweak it, but it's still effectively the same thing.
What was it? Because the Dino Geist, the T-Rex guy in that wasn't Grimlock.
No, he was really cool. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The toy for that is really cool as well. It looks awesome.
Was it Apollo Geist?
No,
that's Kamen Rider.
No, see, Red Geist were from. Oh God,
Dino Geist.
They were from. Might Gein, and you're talking about the Geists from
Geisters. That's it.
Ex-Geister.
Yeah. Like, okay, image of toy. I've never seen the toy for him before. I've seen the design, but
the toy is like one of the best, and it's really hard to get because it's good, and it's a triple changer, and it's a fairly successful triple changer as well. What's he called?
Dino, like the Geisters, and they're just Dino Geist.
Oh, he's Dino Geist. Okay,
but he's had an action figure. Oh my god. Neji Ryu Dino Geist from Studio Open Up please Studio Half-Eye, and it looks really good, but it was 28,000 yen.
Oh, I see the one. Yeah, it looks like a super robot Chogokin kind of thing. It's not a transforming one. No, it's just a standard like posable action figure. Looks neat.
Looks very good, but I'm not sure.
I like the original toy, to be honest, more.
For that kind of money, I'd rather he transformed.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen the original toy that he had?
I'm looking at now. Oh, he looks good.
Yeah, it's really good, and he does each of his modes pretty well. Like his dinosaur mode is I mean, it's got a lot of his robot legs on his back, but I think for the time, it's really fucking successful.
I love the horns. Like, can we get the third-party version of this guy, please?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd be 1,000% on board. And like you said, if they did the other Geists to go along with him,
because they combined as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
They did like a weird centaur combiner thing.
I'll have to take your word for it because, like I say, I never watched X-Geyser.
Oh god, Brave is just so much fun.
Yeah,
and such cool designs.
Yeah, if you're wondering what we're talking about, obviously go on to Google, type in Dino Geist. Geist is Geist, but it's two words, Dino and then Geist, and then you can see what he looks like. They're not Grimlock, the replacement for Grimlock. Grimlock, if he was a Decepticon from Japan.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know, Brave early on reused a lot of Transformer design toys and then majorly retweaked the designs for the shows. And the Dino Geist were for the Dinobots, or the Geisters were for the Dinobots, and then you had a leader who was kind of a T-Rexy thing, but he had an original toy.
Yep. Granted, the Geisters never got toys out.
I thought they did.
No,
they
as far
didn't.
As I know.
No, they didn't, and they were the Dinobots, but they were like their show models were some of the most heavily tweaked.
Yeah, that's the thing. And besides, Mikey, they were bad guys, and especially in that day and age, Japan definitely wasn't going to make any. I was surprised they even made Dino Guys, to be honest.
Yeah, they usually would only do one or two because like Red Guys got a toy. I think one or two of the other villains as the series went on got one, but like very, very rare.
Dryas got one from Firebird. That was a very cool toy.
Yeah.
But there you go. Neither here nor there. We got hella off topic.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking. I don't think any of the GaoGaiVagar villains got a toy.
No, well, they weren't really Transformers, or they didn't have a play feature where they could transform. They were mainly Zords, monsters to kill.
Yeah, but I'm like, it'd be nice to have something. What's the candle guy from Papa Repa?
From the OVA from
Final. Like, it'd be nice to have an action figure of him.
Yeah, definitely. I'd be alright with that.
Also, his name was Papa Repa.
Sounds cool. He's a good lad. Doctor. Anyway, Mr. Mikey, we may as well bounce on, or you can take us over to our one and only bit of American news before we wrap up with con stuff.
Yeah, so Mighty Mugs, they came out a while ago. They were apparently sold quite well. And now we have Mighty Mugs Wave 2. And these are, of course, little non-posable, almost Funko Pop, but not quite because these are actually better. They're $10 each, and they have interchangeable faces, which means they automatically do more than a Funko Pop. So for this wave, we have Windblade, Ratchet, Soundwave, Grimlock, and Nemesis Prime. And Nemesis seems to be, I think, he has original faces. I don't think it's just a straight repaint. Because his faces overall look more evil than I would expect Optimus, bar one. But I really like these. These are fun. Like, the faces are really exaggerated and cartoony. Windblade is just weird. Ratchet's are various levels of pissed, and then this weird curious thing. Soundwave looks so sad.
Did you see everybody say sad wave?
Sad wave.
Sad wave.
Grimlock are actually really good because him and Soundwave, all the expression is in the eyes. And I think they did a real good job of getting, like, Grimlock's like normal, kind of pissed, and just like, you bullshitting me.
I think the problem with Grimlock is though because there's no at least in these images, it's hard to get a lot of definition on his face. So just unless you bring up a full image of it, it does kind of all mush together and just look like blackface but with two blue eyes. Yeah,
he's a bit squished.
That might be different, obviously, in person, but it's just in these promo images. It's a bit like I can't really tell.
Grimlock's face kind of relies on a bit of three-dimensionality.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm not a big fan of Windblade. It looks like, for me, Windblade, I look at hers and because of the red bit in the center of her lip, to me it looks like, the cartoon effect where someone punches you in the teeth and you just got a gap missing in your teeth.
Yeah.
That's how it looks to me. I know it's not, but my mind every now and again goes, but is it though?
Why are we punching Windblade?
Yeah, exactly.
I love Ratchet.
Yeah, the Ratchet one's the best.
Yeah, Ratchet is by far the best. Like, 2 of his faces are just gold.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, but I really like these. I've really gotten into these, and they're like, hey, Funko Pops, but they do something.
Yeah, there's a little bit more to them. There's not a lot more to them, but there's just something more there, and thank God for that. And it's not ridiculous where the line's like, I can't even conceive of how many Funko Pops there are. I can't even conceive of how many Funko Pops there are in landfills.
Oh, don't talk to me. Funko Pops are why we're in a period of climate change.
Just think, when humanity is gone and the aliens dig us up, they'll find Funko Pops.
You laugh. You laugh like that's a joke.
I'm laughing because it's a reality that I don't want to live with. Well, I mean, I won't be alive at that point, but
there are currently at least 5,992 Funko Pops as of August 2008.
What, different ones?
Yes.
Holy crap!
Which means we're 9 months on for that, something like that.
Yeah, and there's obviously been more since then.
Oh my god! Also, like, Aladdin Genie one looks creepy. But Jesus Christ, that's insane.
Yeah, son.
And that's counting multi-packs as well. Oh well.
And think how many doubles of them there are.
Oh my god.
Well, no, not even doubles, but stock. I should say stock of them. Just
don't
pallets.
Do anything. They're staring at you.
Someone likes them, which is fair.
I bought some. I regretted it. I sold them.
Did you sell them?
I sold them. I think I gave one away. I just threw it into a box and said, "Look, it's a free gift. Take it."
I was gonna say, did you give it to your niece? And I was like, no, that would be a bad idea. She'd probably eat it.
She'd like it. Oh, idle. Starts carrying it around, just like, praise him, praise Alan Grant.
Oh, would you not give a Jeff Goldblum lying down with the shirt off?
I think her mother might object.
She needs to appreciate a good man.
Anyway, keep your eyes out for Mighty Mugs. Andy, finish it off with some convention news.
Sure, 3 bits of convention news from 3 different conventions. The one we did talk partially about last week. Maybe we talked about both bits. I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk about it again. First off, David K will be attending Cyberfest in Cyberfest Northwest. Cyberfest Northwest. Cyberfest Northwest. Even then, that could easily be a tongue twister. That is in 2019 in the Washington area. So if you're in the area and you want some David K, that's where he's going to be. Star of the ever-popular Jobby the Hongs video.
That was good.
Yeah, side character, I should say. You may not know who he is. You'll know who Jobby is, but...
Yeah. David Case, he's this actor guy from TV. He's been in it a little bit. He does ads as well.
Something, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah.
He's a small deal or something like that.
He's a small man.
Jobby, oh man. No. He was lucky to get a spot on Jobby show.
Yeah. Good, yeah.
That was a good video.
Jobby the Hung, very good reviews.
Yeah, it was a fun video as well. Megatron, by the by, obviously.
Didn't say the line.
No, he didn't.
I can't tell if that was scripted or David Cage just actually broke down.
I don't know. It could go either way.
Because the end of that said I'm not saying it. That felt scripted, but then they just like, I'm not going to do it. That felt real.
So there's that convention. There's also close that. Livio Ramondelli, who will be heading to TF Con Toronto in 2019. Oh, well, this year, obviously. That is July 12th to the 14th. Livio, obviously, the comic book artist man, who's done lots of different bits of artwork over the years, so you can go and see him. And for TF Nation, we have an official announcement, though I'm sure, as I mentioned, we talked about one of these, but we'll do it again, because why not? EJ Sue and Andrew Griffith, both artists for IDW, are now coming to the UK. EJ Sue, his first time coming to TF Nation, and I think first time to a UK convention, but I could be wrong there. At least the first Transformers convention that I've been to. So, yay! Any thoughts on those things, Mr. Mikey?
I think it's neat.
Good. I think it is neat also. We have an accord. Anything else you want to say, Mikey, or do you have any other bits of news that I did not have?
The only thing mildly interesting I saw was that Kei Zama and Alex Milne are coming back to do a cover in an issue.
Oh.
Of,
only a
Transformers. Alex, I think, is only doing a cover. Kay is doing interiors.
Oh, okay. Well, that's something.
And Nautica's in it, but I have to admit, as much as I love her, I care more about the people drawing her.
Agreed, because, I mean, who knows how well or badly or what state she'll be written in?
She shows up and she starts shoving people over.
She could be, a new character for Nautica, so
yeah,
potentially. Who can say, young Mikey? Who
Flipping
can
tables.
Say? As we always do, Mikey, it's time to head over and, well, not head over anyway, but I'm going to ask you what you've been up to this week. What have you done for fun?
Yeah, like I said, it's been a bit of a busy week, so not actually had a lot of time for stuff, but I did catch up and I managed to watch a few things.
Oh.
So Kamen Rider Geo aired yesterday and they got to sub out today, which was nice. So episode 37, sorry.
I was going to say, are we?
But hey, Andy, remember how he said they changed all the rules and didn't talk about it?
Yes.
That was 10 episodes ago, right?
Okay.
They've now decided to point out the fact that all the rules changed.
But you knew that?
Yeah. And they just went like, hey, isn't it weird how all the writers still have their powers? Until we take them away. But they don't, like, their timelines don't get rewritten anymore.
Right.
And I felt like, maybe you should have had that conversation about 8 episodes ago.
Yeah, it's fine.
There's also a bit where they said, like, oh, it only happened to Blade and Agito. And I was just like, the Kiva and Hibiki episodes, like, they're just, Hibiki's just sitting there like, no one loves me. We love you. It's just, the producer's the same.
You mean nothing to us.
So it was a Kabuto episode, and they got quite a few cast members back.
How many?
And 3, but I would say very wisely picked.
Right.
Because they got Kagami.
Oh yes, Sassuolo.
Not Kagami. They got Kagami back. Not Sassuolo.
So you said it in the Sassuolo way. You confused me.
But yeah, so he comes in and because he's got his powers in this because timeline nonsense.
Yes.
Which they still, because whatever reason they're going to use, like he comes in in full attack gear, and it's like, oh, he's a good boy.
He a good boy.
He is a good boy. The other 2 guys they got, I thought was very wisely picked because they brought back the Hoppers.
Hey, I saw a picture of Kick Hopper who has not aged, and there was an image of him in oh god, what's it called? Kabuto. There was an image, then him in his next role, which was Goonja. Then his next role, which was
I think that was a crossover movie.
Yeah, a crossover movie, and now this, and it's like he's the same person. He's just jumped through time. It's like being a day since each shoot finished, and he just stepped through time.
Daywalker. But yeah,
Monsters.
and also it has to be said, his character Yagurumo, he because he hasn't aged a fucking day, he still looks the part in the Hell Brothers gear.
Oh, neat. Oh, in the really over the top gangster punk biker outfit.
Kageyama still looks good.
Yep.
But has aged.
Well, yeah.
So it looks a lot more like your dad trying to be cool.
Oh.
It's like, look at all my chains. Isn't that neat, son? Yeah,
you do realize that that's us. We are the dads who are meant to try and look
cool. We're not dressing in chains with collars on anymore.
Not yet.
Not since that time.
No.
But yeah, and they also do stuff like they're starting to reference why all the weird, crazy stuff that happens on the end of or during Kamen Rider shows never gets referenced all of a sudden. Because Kagami goes like, so when did Shibuya get repaired after the meteorite hit? and then they look at him and like, there was no meteorite. And he just sort of stares and just like, yeah, there was. Aliens. Select. Do you not know about this? I don't know what they're about to pull, because this feels like they're about to pull something.
They might actually say, oh, they are different universes, and they're not all the same universe.
Yeah.
You think they'll finally confirm that?
They'll just finally admit, look, we've been bullshitting for a long time. But yeah, Tsukasa's back in this one as well, so good. He's in his I'm spying on everyone role. Maybe I'll kill you all. Good times. And he goes off with Tsukiyomi to look into her past. A lot of this episode was focused to show off his power up.
Right.
But because of how they do this show, one thing I do like about how they structure these shows is that returning riders are badasses regardless. So he like has his super form and he's like, I've beaten another Kabuto, and then Kickhopper comes back and knocks him back flying. I'm just like, yeah, son, because you know who everyone loved? Fucking Kickhopper.
Yeah, son.
And the guy really just is back in the performance as well. Kabuto is a weird show. It's a weird show. It's fun, but it's weird. And he was one of the better weird parts. The Hopper
just
brothers.
really didn't like Kabuto.
I see, but it's weird and nonsense and good suit designs.
I mean, Kabuto is in the actual character. Yeah.
I remain a stalwart defender of him up until the last episode where he pulled the bullshit.
Okay.
He pulls one piece of bullshit in the whole show that I can't justify.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not in it, although it's hinting Kabuto in some form will return next episode.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so, and I don't know, it was an okay, I don't know how I feel about this one, really. Because I feel really put off by the fact that after 10 episodes, they've suddenly realized, oh, right, we were doing story stuff. And also, Gates doesn't matter at all to them. Like, Gates literally just shows up constantly after everything keeps happening. In this. Like, the story's forgotten that it did a whole arc about Gates, and now it's just like, well, that's his stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels. Yeah, so after this, we've got Deno and Drive, I believe. Which is... Drive thing interests me because they've got the Drive watch already. Because last time they did that, they had Decade destroy the Ghost Watch from the future, so they got a new Ghost Watch. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but yeah, it was okay. Watched Giant Chicken, episode 20.
Yeah.
Which was mostly action, and I'm not complaining.
No.
It was fun. It was a good fun time.
How many more episodes are left, though? Because there can't be that many more, because it was episode 20 this week.
Yeah, they're probably about 24 to 26.
Because of the way it started, which was it didn't have like title credits, there was no intro music. I thought, is this the last episode? Because it felt like this could have been the end of the season.
Be an odd place to end it, though.
It would, but the way that they set up the episode felt like it was a place where they were going to round it off. At least to me, I'm glad they're not. I'm glad we've still got a few more episodes, but it felt like this is where we're ending. Boom.
Now it's mostly action, and then there's a bit with Now For Me and the Girls, which is nice. And Melty Matter's in it.
Yay!
Melty's fine. It just the story is really structured for her to be the add-on. It's not her fault.
Yeah, I'm thinking she'll probably have more to do as the story goes on. But yeah, at the moment she's there without much purpose. Yeah,
I'm also really convinced this is going to need a season 2.
Oh, yeah. They're not going to finish this off. I mean, it's an ongoing light novel thing, so
yeah.
I think whether it gets a season 2 or not, who knows?
Hope it does.
It's
same. A fun show. Dororo, episode 19.
Yes.
Which was a standalone one, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's been quite plot heavy for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Which had a really fun concept. I like the idea behind it. It's a spoiler to say what it is. But I like the idea. And it was just fun. It was just a kind of goofy. Let's relax a bit.
I tell you what I thought that was weird about it. It felt like an early episode. It felt like an episode that should have been like a 2 or a 3 or something like that.
Yeah, this felt like an early before we fit the main arc stuff.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's just like you think about it and just like, this feels weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt like a strange time in the story to take place.
Also watched episode 9 of Blade of Destruction. Or Blade of Demon Destruction. Kimetsu no Yaiba, I think.
Do you still feel confident about this show, or is it?
Yeah, I'm still liking it. Still liking it. This was I was trying to remember what this episode mostly was. It was mostly sort of follow up from the crazy ending of the last one. Introducing a couple of new characters. There are some visuals in here I would recommend not showing your young ones.
Okay.
There is a killing in this. Like, let's call it what it is. There is a scene of someone being killed in this that is genuinely disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the visuals and art style of this show are just sublime. Also, it turns out this takes place in the early 1900s, which I did not expect, because there's cars. And, like, you've got the country boy going to the city and going like, what's this? The glowing yellow orbs. It's called the light. Glowing yellow orbs. But yeah, but really, really genuinely, I think this is worth checking out. Again, it's a shonen, so you have to go in with a thing of just like, are they going to fuck it up? Which is possible. It is maybe even probable, but at the moment I'm enjoying it. Like, for the visuals alone, it is worth your time. Really do. Like, if you've got any sort of sense of artistry to you, you'll like it. There were a couple of other little shows. I started rewatching them on the Guitaries to catch up and stuff, and make my way through the stuff I haven't seen.
Oh yes.
Still love that show so very much. I'm going to take my time, go through it all in order. Like, even though I kind of want to rush to the end and watch the movies, because I've seen, like I said last week, the fight scenes in that look nuts, absolutely ridiculous. I did see Aladdin.
Oh, why?
Honestly, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but does it do anything that justifies its existence?
No.
Then why?
I was curious, to be blunt.
Okay. You damned fool.
So these live action remakes in my mind are bad. Not just they're pointless, one, and they're bad. Right? This was not bad. The cast is for the most part very good. The acting's up there. I think they very, very wisely did a lot of tweaks to Genie.
Right.
He is not Robin Williams' Genie.
Well, that's good because he couldn't be.
No, but I was genuinely afraid they were going to try and hit those same kind of vibes. They just say, Will Smith, do your thing with him.
Right.
And Will Smith's a good actor, and he's a likable enough guy, so he made it his character.
Yeah.
And he gives a good performance. Like, and I don't know if it's really, like, since this is kind of beat for beat following the original, it's kind of hard to say there were spoilers here. They do, like, the scene where Aladdin says he's not going to make the wish is very, very different. Because it's what, like, a Will Smith-esque character is responding, and it's a lot more low-key than if Robin Williams was there.
Right.
Jasmine is weird because they give her more to do, but at the same time it feels like she has less to do. Like, they skip a bunch of her, like, because they make her a bit more they try to make her seem a bit more proactive, and her role as not just as a sultan's daughter, but as a possible leader herself one day.
Okay.
Which is interesting.
Been stuck in the castle and doesn't really know the people.
Yeah, they start with that, and then they kind of completely forget that, and suddenly she's this badass leader girl. I feel like they skipped a couple of steps.
Do you think deleted scenes that they just forgot?
I don't know. I think they really wanted to get that bit.
Because I hear it's half an hour longer as well than the animated movie.
Doesn't feel it, I will say. To be fair, it feels like there's less content. But the snake scene that I love and is so beautiful in the original isn't in it.
Yeah.
Which is such a good scene if you haven't seen it, because it also includes one of my favorite Genie jokes, which is Jafar, if he can't do it, great! Robin Williams was a blessing, and we never appreciated him until he died.
It's true. Unfortunately, he did do some terrible movies like Bicentennial Man. Let us not forget.
He did the best he could with what he was given.
Let us not forget Flubber Mikey.
He did the best he could.
Let us not forget. Oh, what was it called? That came out at the same time as Aladdin. Toy store, toy shop, toy factory.
Oh, yeah, there was Mrs. Doubtfire as well, but
that was good. I like Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's watchable. But yeah, so there is that. Jafar was atrocious.
I heard they made him not old and intimidating, but young and wimpy.
Pissy.
Oh, okay, that works too. Pissy. Young
but
and pissy.
He is it's not just like the new lines and everything else, because they changed the character a lot to try and they're trying to add inverted commas layers to Jafar. But he is genuinely just kind of really badly done, and the actor does an atrocious job with him.
You know who they should have got because he can play any race. Ben Kingsley.
Yes.
Because he's also sinister. He could be Jafar, and he has. I don't think there is a race he hasn't played yet on this Hollywood's Earth.
Irish.
Has he not played? Are you sure? I'm sure he must have done Irish.
If someone knows Irish Ben Kingsley, please direct me to it.
He must have.
But yeah, he was just really like. And Iago is a fucking travesty.
He's just a
because
parrot,
Iago,
isn't he?
Like Iago talks. But no one reacts to anything Iago says.
Oh, I thought he was just a parrot and he didn't say anything.
No, he's done by Alan Tudyk. But
weird.
like he talks really low, so you can barely hear him. And he feels really like he was never going to talk, and then someone said we need to have the parrot talk, so they inserted lines afterwards, but didn't refilm anything to have people react to him. The only time he gets really acknowledged as a character is in the end with the genie, with the Jafar into a genie scene where he has, "You're coming with me, parrot," and because there's no relationship between them, that feels really weird. It feels like he's just kidnapping this bird. Like, that's his pet. That I don't know. I don't like Iago in this at all. Overall, though, it's okay. It's probably the best live action film. The songs are okay. They make some changes I understand, and they make some I don't understand. And Jasmine gets a new song, and the intent is good. The words and lyrics are not so well delivered.
And I'm going to ask you this very simple question, Mikey, and I already know what the answer is. I come to your house.
Yes.
I put your family into a hostage situation. I say, you are to watch one of these two movies. Which would you prefer? The animated Aladdin movie or the live-action Aladdin movie? Which would you prefer to watch?
I animated. That's not a question. I'm probably already watching it when you come into the house.
Yeah, granted, I don't know why I've taken your family hostage, but I have. I'm forcing this situation on you whether you want it or not. Andy, I don't mind. No, this is happening.
Yeah, the summation really is that, okay, this is an okay movie, but if you want to see this story done at its absolute best, writing, acting, visuals, drama, songs, everything, that movie's existed since 1992, and there's, apart from the fact that this is a trend, there's literally no reason for this film to exist.
I heard somebody say this, and I thought it was fine. They were doing a parody, and the parody was they were pitching the idea to the executive, and the executive said, "So this at best this can be okay or as equally as good as the original film. It will probably never be as good as the original." And the picture was like, "No, yeah, it's probably going to be a lot worse, but at least it sounds like it's not Garbo." So I guess that's a win.
Like it's not
still
Beauty and the Beast.
It's still a shameless cash grab.
Oh yeah, like it is an unapologetic, put as little effort in creating a film as possible. And I will say the graphics are not great at times.
Oof.
But what I mean by that is that, hey, you don't have to script. You don't really have to script in any major way. You don't have to come up with scenarios.
Or shots. I hear
shots.
It's nearly shot. It's not completely shot for shot,
but they are very much imitating it.
Yeah, that's real lazy.
And like, I get what it's an easy cash grab, and these films that earn money, but
Not saying the people who work on them don't work hard, because they do.
Yeah.
But...
Oh yeah, they put like hours of work in.
Sure.
Like, and that's why the Sonic movie's being delayed, because they're going to have to redo a lot.
And it's still not going to help it.
No, because the writing will probably be the same.
More than likely.
But like Maleficent was the first of these, and they did a lot of original stuff in it. It's not a good movie on any stretch of imagination, but it's got a lot of stuff you can say, okay, well done. And as they went further into this, it became more and more rehashes to the point where, like, The Lion King, apart from the fact that just make them smile, for Christ's sake, but The Lion King looks like it's going to be a shot-for-shot remake, and it isn't live action.
Right.
So yeah, this is okay movie. If you have a family and you need a movie to entertain them, and you want to do a cinema night,
take them to Brightburn.
Take them to Brightburn, but show them this, or if you just want to show them Aladdin, show them the original. It's better.
Don't take them to Brightburn. Brightburn's an R-rated movie.
Yeah, take everyone to Brightburn. The only other thing of note is Game of Thrones finale, episode 6. And Game of Thrones is dead.
I'm going to say this. We are definitely not going to... I cut out...
No, I have nothing to say.
Okay, that's fine. I cut out a lot of stuff from last week.
Everything that was wrong with the show up to now is still wrong with the show. Mm-hmm. Except now they get all of that out of the way in like 20 minutes, and the rest of the episode is incredibly boring.
Yeah, nothing happens.
And then, spoilers, as always with these things, Bran is king. The literal worst person you could choose to rule anything is king.
Yeah, he even said himself that he didn't want to be the Lord of Winterfell because he doesn't understand people anymore. It's like, okay, so now you're going to run a kingdom? All right.
And then it kind of implies that, no, this is what he was setting up all along.
Which means he's the bad guy?
Yeah, Bran was your ultimate villain.
Yeah.
Okay, but hey, let's have a king in an enormous post-war world who literally doesn't care about anything.
Yep. Fantastic. What a decision.
Jon's arc makes no sense now. The Aegon Targaryen stuff didn't matter.
And Jon's sad to go back to the north where he wanted to stay.
And has all his friends and Ghost, who really is too good for him.
Yeah, he did not look happy when he saw Ghost and Tormund and everyone. I was like, why aren't you happy?
Yeah, this is literally what you wanted.
Yeah.
Why did no one suggest Jon be king?
Yeah. And I heard this great thing. Why does Grey Worm give a fuck about taking the black?
Why did Jon make it out of that throne room that he didn't get murdered 14 times on the way out? Like, the Drogon thing, that is like the moment I was like, like everything else is just like, I'm pissy, but this is all the fuck ups you've already made.
Mm-hmm.
The Drogon thing, I'm just like, he burns the chair and then he lets Jon live.
Mm-hmm.
Drogon. The biggest asshole in the show.
Yep.
Like, I think I told you, wouldn't it made more sense, like, Jon kills Daenerys on the chair or something like that, and then Drogon kills Jon and melts the chair in a symbolic act at the same time?
Yep, that would make more sense.
And then Drogon leaves, and they're just like, oh, we need to find Drogon. And I'm just like, do you?
He also... See, Jon didn't have to tell them that she was dead.
No.
Either, because Drogon takes the body for a snack.
Yeah, or like, I'm taking my mom and going home.
Nah, he wanted her for food for later on. He's like, nah, I'm going to have this sandwich on the way home. I'm going to eat it.
That would be a very different interpretation. When he picks her up, it's hilarious, because he looks like he's trying to pick her up with a wing claw.
Yeah,
But then she
I
did
thought
his
that.
foot. Why didn't he just
I
pick
wondered
her up
that
with
as
her
well
foot?
when I saw it.
Why didn't he just, like, pick her up with the foot? But no, he's got like, this is really hard.
Little T-Rex sounds.
Yeah. Oh, at least T-Rex had 2 fingers.
Yeah.
This thing is just like
It's
a
a claw.
Yeah. But yeah, Game of Thrones
mistake.
season 8 is one of the most dramatic seasons I've ever seen for fucking everything up. And if it's not in a filmmaking class going forward, it's a travesty, because this is academically fascinating.
It is.
And I had more fun watching Jamie's actor and Brienne's actress. I watched like a 20-minute cut of them being interviewed.
Oh dear.
And they're hilarious.
Oh dear, yeah.
Those are very much 2 people who kind of love each other in a very platonic way and don't give shits anymore. The amount of time she said, I hate you. I genuinely hate you. And he just like, do you? Do you hate me? Yes. Just like, those are 2 people who really like enjoyed working together.
But Mikey, I don't want it. I don't want it. McQueen. I do want to see t-shirts with McQueen and I don't want it. Like, there needs to be way more cartoon memes of just Jon saying, I don't want it. Like, don't want the throne. He don't want the dog. He don't want an apple pie.
No, but you need to somehow work that into also him staring into nothingness.
Oh yeah. He likes to
This
stare.
gormless expression of I don't want it.
You know
She
how
McQueen.
you don't know nothing, Jon Snow? He didn't know nothing. He was an idiot.
You need something like Jon Snow took a blow to the head, and then that's the rest of the show. You don't know nothing, Jon Snow.
Ingrid comes back as a ghost. I fucking tell you, you didn't know nothing. You fuck.
He's married to her
Yeah.
in real life, though.
Oh, in real life, yeah.
They got married,
Which is why they were very much believable as a couple, where Daenerys and him had no chemistry.
Oh man, Daenerys and him made sense. You can see why someone said that made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then you saw it and just like, we have no chemistry because we are rushing to an all-encompassing love story in the space of 2 episodes, and then the season ended, and then the season started again, and now we have to hate each other because that's where it's going.
I describe it as rubbing Ken and Barbie dolls together. That's their chemistry. But never mind.
She's got more chemistry with the fucking dragon.
I agree, because I watched it as well, and surprisingly, this was not good. I think all story plot lines could have worked if given another 4 seasons.
Yes. Well, yes, because
everything would have made sense, but if you gave it more time, you could actually develop it towards that. Do I think it should have ended with the Game of Thrones? No. If the whole thing was always to subvert expectations, I think that was a poor move, because it was always building to your shit doesn't matter, it's all about fighting life and death. I think that would have been better to end it with. But if that was always the original intent, everything could have made sense given more time. Everything. Yep. But no, it was rushed, and everything fucked up.
Yeah. And if you didn't if you realized you didn't have enough time, you should have changed your story.
Agreed. Yeah.
Because if you didn't have time to do either the story you wanted to do or the story George told you to do, don't do that story. Do a different story.
Or set it up earlier.
That's all.
Set it up way earlier.
The fuck up.
Because there were definitely episodes like in seasons like 5 to 8 where stuff was building, and sometimes there's just episodes where it was wasted, like nothing really happened anyway, so shit could have been happening then. Anything else in Mr. Mikey, or is that all you've done?
I think that's me. What about you?
Okay, well, as I mentioned, I watched Game of Thrones. I've been watching Game of Thrones season 1 at the moment. That's a good show. I'm really enjoying Game of Thrones season 1. I'm even more disappointed in how it ends, because as we've said before, the most important, well, not the most important thing, but a show can live and die on its ending. And it did not do well to end. And Sansa is the worst. She has always been. I forgot how fucking like nails on a chalkboard that she was, and she ends winning. There is no justice.
There really isn't.
There's no justice. But no, honestly, I'm enjoying rewatching season 1 of Game of Thrones. I'm probably gonna go and get up to at least season 5 when they have you know the fight where Jon goes over the wall and fights sees the Night King for the first time.
Yeah,
like that's a good episode. It's one of the few good episodes in season 5, which has like three episodes that are good or something.
That's Hard Home, isn't it?
Hard Home, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good episode. That's one of my favorites. Like that's one of my favorites in the show because that's when you felt like, shit, we're fucked.
Yeah, like season 5 is the turning point where the quality starts to dip, but then it does have some really good episodes in there, like Hard Home. But then after that, it just kind of, oh dear. Anyway, enough of fucking Game of Thrones. Everyone's probably like, for fuck's sake, no more Game of Thrones.
Go back to the boobies.
I also did Dororo. I also did Dine Chucken, which were both enjoyable. I also, because it's been a very, very long time, got Code Geass on Blu-ray because I've got all the DVDs, but you cannot get season 2 on Blu-ray for love nor money. And season 1 is fairly expensive as well. So I have a copy of the Blu-ray and I'm going through that. And I still really, really like Code Geass. I'm 4 episodes in and I'm like, fuck, I still love this show. I really do. It's probably my favorite mech show. I can't think of another mech show that I like more than Code Geass. I haven't watched the movies. I hear the movies do things differently. And they also had this year... what's it called? The Revival of Lelouch or something like that.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
Resurrection of Lelouch, and I heard it was just kind of okay. It sounds like the best version of Code Geass is still just watch the series, and that's it. Because it is a closed circle of a show. It's by the time it gets to the end, it's done, and you're out. Which is especially nice for an anime because sometimes they kind of leave it to drift on. But this is one of those classic animes that you don't get as often these days because it wasn't based on a light novel or anything like that. It was an anime as far as I know. It was an anime. It came out, it did its thing, and it ended. And it was one of the best regarded shows of its time, which wasn't that long ago. Actually,
10 years now, at least.
Oh, God, it
15?
was. Oh,
2004, 2005, isn't it, for Code Geass?
Fuck, probably. That is bleak, Mike.
You're old.
We're all old. We're all gonna die soon.
You saw it earlier than I did. I saw it only a few years ago.
I don't think I saw it exactly when it came out, but I think I saw it close to when it came out. Not long after it was all done.
Everyone message Andy and tell him he's old.
That's true, I am. If you haven't seen Code Geass, for me, I heavily recommend it. It's one of my favorite animes, probably of all time, myself. So I've been doing that. Anything? I saw my buddy Matt on Monday, which was nice because we went to Woods, had lads chat, and did some hiking through the forests, the dense, dark woods, which is always nice. And we had piha and good times. What else? There must have been some other stuff I did of significance and value. I'm rubbing my brain.
Is there significance and value?
Not really. Well, I mean, what is significance in our lives, Mikey?
Well, yes.
As much as we can get. I don't think I've done anything else of real wealth. I'm looking at. I've probably got rid of some things I've seen recently as well from my watch list, which I was like, oh, I'll leave these on so I'll remember. But I think I got rid of them, so I've forgotten. I think that might be the end then, Mr. Mikey. I mean, we've got a question. Do you have any questions?
I don't.
Okay.
So
shall I do our little question?
Feel free.
Well, it comes from Tentomon number 4 or Tentomon 4. Man, I need to stop writing late. Stop writing late Saturday night. It makes my already bad English even worse, and it makes my poor reading abilities even worse as well. I'll be honest. Patreon. I'm not complaining. It's just one of those things where my reading out loud sometimes is just utter pish, depending on the day and how I feel. But yeah, that's fine. No worries. We muddle through. Patreon squishing it all onto one line of text doesn't help. No, I understand that as well. Patreon's not the best laid out system. That said, what do you think is the, in quotations, must-have warband for Warhammer Underworld, Andy? That's me, so not you. So your opinion, Mikey, doesn't matter.
I don't have one if it helps.
No, good. You're not allowed. You speak way too much. So if
Fuck off.
you don't play the game. Your opinion doesn't matter. Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm not talking to you now.
Yeah, that's right.
You two go play in your pond.
That's right. Well, if you're asking in terms of what warband works the best, I can't tell you because I haven't played as all of them. So I can only go off what my personal kind of visual tickles are. I'm always an undead lad. I've always been in fantasy at least, that and chaos. So I'm a big proponent of the. I can't remember the warband names offhand, so I'll just need to tell you the race, and you'll kind of figure it out from there. I'm a big fan of the undead, so the Briar Queens bunch, the ghosts, I really like because I think spooky ghosts are nice, and they've got some really nice dynamic models. Because it's that kind of post Soul Wars time where all the ghost models are like, oh wow, you're using what they call it Z space, I think, or Z space, where they don't actually have anything in there, so they make it look like it's floating. I think they do that fairly successfully, and you get some new chain rasp looking dudes, and the Briar Queen herself is quite a neat looking model. And I like the skeletons as well. Granted, the skeletons are maybe not. I don't like all of them. I like the main warden, mainly because he's got a big, thick armor on, and he's got kind of a big, fluffy animal pelt around his head, so he looks quite nice and thick, I guess, for a skeleton lad. But what's the other warband? I'm not too fond of the orcs. I'm not too fond of the Skaven or the Stormcasts. I actually really like the Khorne's guys, the Magors Fiends, I think they're called. Mainly Khorne Blood Reavers, but in heavy armor. They're big, intimidating, and they have a big fleshhound doggo, so that's always neat. So they're intimidating, and they look thick on the battlefield, rather than the other kind of Chaos Warbands, which are, for the most part, apart from the Tzeentch one, just human barbarians for the most part, and they're, to me, a bit on the boring side. So, yeah, undead or big, thick men in armor, which look like they'll wreck your shit. In terms of how well they play, couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Also, speaking of Age of Sigmar and isekais, does Nagash, Supreme Lord of Undeath, count as an isekai protagonist? I mean, he is super overpowered, and came from another world, that was. Plus, it's a better question than if he could beat up that water goddess or whatever.
No, he couldn't.
I don't know if he could.
Aqua wins as long as you're undead in any way, shape, or form. Aqua wins.
It seems like she is super overpowered.
She's very specifically overpowered.
Yeah.
Like if you're a frog, you're gonna fuck her up.
It's her one feature. It's literally her only saving feature, unless you want to see water come out of a fan. She can do that pretty well.
It's a good trick.
It is a good trick. She's spent a lot of points on that, if I remember. Remember? that was something she leveled up. Fuck's sake, Aqua.
I really want that movie out.
I see with I guess you could maybe say it's an isekai. Nagash is certainly not he's the protagonist in his own mind, and I would say quite justifiably so. But he's certainly not portrayed as the protagonist. For those not aware, Nagash is a jealous and very spiteful god of death. He has killed all of the other gods of death, and now is the supreme lord of death. He was in an alliance with Sigmar, who's the kind of hero of good. He is the main heroic kind of alignment of good for the human kind of players. Sigmar took characters or people who were about to die in battle, took them, and Nagash saw that as a slight against him as they were about to die, so they should have been his, which I think is fair. I described it as, imagine someone came into your house and decided to take your stuff, and then they go, it's not our fault we took your stuff. I'm like, ho, hold on a tick. You stole my shit. That was mine. And you're pretending it's okay. But then Nagash did betray Sigmar and didn't turn up for a battle. So, yeah, in most normal people's mind, he is an asshole, but from my perspective, Sigmar started it. So, fuck Sigmar. So, we'll move on and shout out to Bad Bomb 82 for being one of the few YouTube toy reviewers that likes the battle paint on the Siege line. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that there aren't many, to be honest. But it's interesting that there is someone out there who does. Plus, he is new to the whole Transformers thing and could use some views. So, there you go. If you're interested in seeing some positive thoughts on the Siege Toys paint, Bad Bomb 82 might be the person for you, or it might be someone just to check out, just see if they jive with you as a reviewer.
What's the name again?
Bad Bomb, that's one word, Bad Bomb, capital B, and then 82, all one word, Bad Bomb 82. There you go.
I'm thinking the Final Fantasy VII bombs. That's not good.
No, it's not a bad... Oh, no, it is. Yeah, they were bad bombs. They're assholes. I really like those designs.
Yeah, I just like the aesthetics in general.
But then again, that was when Final Fantasy had more fantasy design to it instead of everything having to look like real life.
Basically everything before Final Fantasy 13, really.
Everything after Final Fantasy 7, really, because 8 started going realistic.
Yeah,
9 was less realistic.
10, I don't know what 10 was.
10 had realistic people and then set in a fucking weird-ass world.
12?
Yeah, no, I think 12 was where it started going visually downhill. What's that?
12 ain't realistic.
I remember the human characters looking very realistic.
Is it wrong of me to say the only character I remember because my god?
Is it the bunny lady?
It's the bunny lady. She was the best character. Fran, that was her name.
I never finished it because I fucking hated the game.
I remember the main guy, because
there's Vaughn who was shoved in.
Yeah, because the original protagonist was the big soldier guy.
No, it was the pirate that was along with the bunny lady. I thought it was the pirate guy. He was along with the bunny lady.
Anyway, someone more interesting than Vash, and then someone like in Square said, "But this isn't a pretty young Japanese boy."
Yeah,
we need a pretty young Japanese boy. We're too far along in the game, but we need a pretty young Japanese boy.
Put him in. Put him in, and they did, and it was bad. 12 was officially the point where Final Fantasy died for me, and I was like, I cannot do anymore, because after that as well, they just got less and less interesting. 12 was, I think, the first one where they took out the turn-based battle system, and I don't know why games are so against turn-based battle systems nowadays, but fuck, I hate the new battle systems in Final Fantasy systems. I loathe them.
I haven't played any of the most recent ones.
From videos that I've seen, they just look like MMOs. To my eyes anyway, they might work better than like WoW and stuff like that, but that's how they look to me, and that's why I like Persona when I went back to them, because it's like, oh shit, it's a turn-based system. I love these. Apart from Persona 3, which had a really unpleasant turn-based system, whereas like you can control your own character and then you kind of set the AI to do stuff, and hopefully it does the stuff that you want it to do, which I never was a fan of. I thought that was a really bad move. Anyway, and one last thing about my take on AUFF on on Autobot Black Arachnia. I would like her to I would have her be married to Aerial Bot Silverbolt. Okay. Because that loser needs more to his character than being scared of heights. Later, dudes. I think that's a very fair point. He needs fucking anything.
But Andy, he's afraid of falling.
He is. He is. Did he ever get over that, or was he just always afraid of flying? Because I'm sure the amount of times for the amount of length he was a jet, he'd have to get over the fear of flying, right? He'd have to. And if he does, if he gets over a fear of flying, which would only make sense, then literally what else is there to him?
Not much.
Like Tenemon4 said, he needs a girlfriend, at the very least, to be like, oh, he's Black Arachneid's boyfriend. What do you know about him? They're a couple.
She's more interesting than he is.
She's far more interesting than he is. Oh, that's really sad, isn't it? Silverbolt's best character feature is he is related to the Beast Wars character who has a character.
And even then is more boring than his girlfriend, who's just far more interesting.
Yeah, she actually has a story arc. I don't think Silverbolt doesn't have a story arc until Beast Machines.
That's one way of putting it.
And then he's a bit of the emo-y kind of guy.
Oh god, I don't. That's one of my least favorite things about Beast Machines.
I thought one of your least favorite things was Night Scream, like everybody else.
I said one.
Remember his little emo hair flip?
Oh,
Never
they wanted
forget.
it to be the Newt. I remember.
Who?
Newt. Originally, they were going to have Night Scream be a girl modeled after Newt from Aliens.
Really?
Mm.
That kind of makes sense, I suppose, because hiding in the tunnels, constantly running from things that are after you.
They didn't go that direction though in the end.
They didn't.
They went shitty John Connor.
Was that what it was? Was it John Connor? Was it really John Connor, Mikey? Was it?
I don't know.
You mean from the original Terminator 2, don't you? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe then.
Not like when you talk about let's face it, even Terminator is ignoring everything after Terminator 2 now.
You know who they should have got in Salvation to play John Connor?
Mm?
Granted, they should have done a lot of things to just not make Salvation. They should have got Kurt Russell.
Oh god.
And then dress him up like Snape Plissken. Because in my eyes, that's what John Connor would look like. He'd look like Snape Plissken from Escape from New York.
Yep.
And I think he could still pull off the Snape Plissken look.
Oh yeah. He could then. I don't know about right this second. But...
I think he could, because I remember how he looked in Guardians 2. Just leave him with the beard and give him the cut over one eye and give him the eye patch. Just grizzle him up a bit to look like he's had a bit harsher of a life than Hollywood. I think he could do it. I'm not sure he could do the action scenes, obviously, but I think he could dirty him up to look like a good Snake Plissken still. He'd look like Solid Snake from Metal Gear 4. You know, where he's all old and shit.
Yeah.
I think that's it then, Mr. Mikey, unless you've got anything else you want to throw down.
No, I'm good.
Oh, there was one thing I did. Well, I didn't really do, but I saw and I was like, yes! And it was future releases for Figma.
Oh, yes, I saw there's loads coming.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the convention was, or the toy show in Japan.
Me neither.
But there was a big showing of stuff, and for shows that we talk about, they're doing Hyakimaru from Dororo.
Yep.
So he's coming. These were just like cardboard cutout images of these are in production rather than we've got a prototype for you to look at. Raftalia and Naofumi from Rising of the Shield Hero. My first thought was no Giant Chucken. Can't care too much.
Would you want Tiny Girl or would you want Giant Chucken?
I would put that tiny child in a bin and set her on fire, and I'd be like, give me the chicken! Give me that thicken! Want a big old leg of thicken! I'll just bite down. Thicken. Yeah, I don't give a shit about like a lolly form. I just want that giant chicken because that's the best aspect of the character. I don't care about her. Boot her away. Tell me I'm wrong, and tell me like she could come with a wagon, she could come with a little hair clip, she could come with her talons.
You could come with loads of stuff.
Yeah, she could come with like a lump of dragon flesh. No, the berries. She could come with some berries. That would work. Yeah. They also showed off that coming will be Konosuba's Darkness.
God
oh
help
dear.
us all.
Oh yes. They're also doing Fate Apocryphas. Mordred and Jeanne d'Arc in their kind of casual clothes rather than their battle armored up forms, which I'm like, maybe Mordred, because I like Mordred quite a lot, and it would really depend on like if she gets a load of good new faces, so I could switch it with the Mordred I have. For other people who are interested, they are doing 3 more Persona 5 characters. Because I haven't played the game, I don't know who they are. I know one of them is the ginger haired lass with the glasses. And then I don't know the other 2. So I can't tell you there. And for Freight Grand Order, they're doing Merlin, which I'm pretty stoked for. It's another one off the round table. So I'm like, that's neat. I don't know much about him because I haven't got him in the game. But, Merlin, he's cool. Good lad. So there's definitely a few in the future that I'm interested in. I probably won't get Rising of the Shield Heroes Figmas. I'm not that interested in them. But I was actually thinking about this. What faces would they do for Narufumi? Because I could only think of 2. Angry face and scowling face.
Yeah, and sort of basic neuful face, but he doesn't really.
Even then, I think that's just
I could
scowling
see myself
face.
getting Narufumi, if I'm honest.
I think if you're gonna get any, if you're gonna get one, it would be Raftalia, if not Giant Thicken.
I'd want them both. Like it's kind of
They
like
are a team.
When I got the Steins Gate Figmas, it would have felt weird to get one without the other.
Well, you know what's weirder though, Mikey? There was no do. There was no Figma
because the world takes me.
That's right. Do any of those potentially interest you? Apart from, now Fumi, I assume.
I can't.
What about
I'm
Darkness?
surprised.
Knowing that the entire Konosuba team is out, because after that, it doesn't matter. You can release Whis or whatever her name was. No one really cares about her. She's a fine character. It's like, whatever.
She ain't one of the main girls, though. She ain't one of the team.
No.
I'm very surprised
tempted to get
Hyakkimaru's getting one.
Same. I didn't know Dororo was, or however rows there are in that. I didn't think it was that popular of a show to demand it, especially this early on, because it's still showing.
It's based on something from the 60s. That's the thing.
Yeah, but
I don't know how popular that is.
It's the fact that the show is running and they've announced it. Like Konosuba is a few years old at this point. Granted, there's got a movie coming out, but it's still a few years old, and they're only now just kind of putting out the team. You know, so the schedule's weird.
It's weird to me. I'm very surprised, but the Persona stuff is cool. The Fate stuff is cool. Did you say Sherlock is getting one?
I thought Sherlock Holmes from Fate Grand Order was getting one, but he's getting a non-posable statue to go along with Shinjuku Archer, who is FYI Moriarty. I mean, I figured that out just from looking at him. Figure that shit out by looking at him. Shinjuku Archer, that's Moriarty. Fuck's sake, come on. Sherlock Holmes is getting one.
I'm just looking at pictures now, and a bunch of. I've searched. It occurred to me I don't know if Subaru from ReZero has a Figma. By the way, we broke General Techno, and I'm happy because Amelia's got one. Rem's got one.
Subaru doesn't have one, as far as I know.
But I searched this. Would you like to know one of the first pictures that came up?
Okay.
It's Rem. It's a statue of Rem. In kind of like she's clearly in some form of undress under it all, wearing Subaru's jacket. And she's sniffing it. She's sniffing the collar.
Unrequited love without any of it coming back.
It kind of requited.
You know what?
It's a complicatedly requited thing because it's kind of like if he can make the system work for him, it'll be hella requited. But he's got to see how he can get the system working, and we haven't reached that point in the series yet.
I'm glad General Techno is watching ReZero because it's a fun show.
Yeah.
I think my fear about always recommending animes is hyping it up too much.
Because we tend to only recommend the stuff that we're into, like really into.
Yeah.
Because we see a lot of stuff that's kind of like, okay, it's fine, check it out if you want.
Yeah.
But then when we like something, we really push it.
I would try to, yeah. That's the hope. I'm still waiting for ReZero Season 2. It's coming, but no one knows when.
Is it wrong? I kind of want the Nendoroid Rem.
Yes.
because the crazy face with the horn and the mace, that's actually quite well done.
Oh, I watched the Isekai Quartet.
Oh, what do you think?
It's fun. It's almost too short. I'm annoyed how long the intro sequence is because that eats up a massive chunk of the show's time since it's only 11 minutes long per episode. Did you watch this week's episode?
No, didn't. I only thought about it before we started recording.
It's got the giant hamster making an appearance from Overlord.
Oh, Jesus.
Which is quite fun.
I know the dub's out now.
The dub for that show?
Wow,
that's weird.
They're doing simul dubs, but I'm very surprised it's being dubbed, to be completely honest.
Same, because it seems it's obviously a comedy show, but I wouldn't have thought it would be popular enough to justify it.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean, fair enough. If they want to do a dub for it, that's fucking whatever, you know? Who cares?
I wonder if the problem is just getting the cast back.
Maybe. I would guess so. But no, it's fun. I feel that sometimes not a lot happens in the episode, and even when I say that, I know it's not a long episode, but like not a lot of funny stuff happens. Sometimes it's like they're pushing the really small plot along, but it's not in a funny way. It's not like Aho Girl, where that was just ridiculously over the top funny and incredibly cruel sometimes. But what a show that was. That got a lot of stupid fun stuff into 11, 12 minutes, where I don't think this show does that as well. But I like that. I like the characters bouncing off each other, and there's not enough Konosuba people being assholes. They did get Megami like trying to do the school announcements, and one of the evil Tani guys was like, "No, give it here," and she was like, "No, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine."
I'm still just, I mean, like they don't. The thing is the Konosuba guys, when the focus is on them, it's just like the focus should be on you more.
Yes, yeah, agreed. They're perfect for this world.
I just like when they're just going home from school and Aqua like, I'm gonna fuck you up.
And it's like, turn undead. That's a low level spell. Jesus!
What? Since this is your first experience of them, what do you think of the Tanya crowd?
Generic.
Yeah,
really generic.
They feel like, really out of place.
When I say generic, I'm putting that up against Overlord, who feels really well, maybe it's just a storyline in Overlord that just feels fucking bland and generic. I suppose the characters in Overlord are not. I think the characters in Overlord could be more interesting. I like the fact that they're all monsters and stuff, and they're all dungeon monster bosses, effectively. There's just nothing for them ever to fucking do. But no, the Tanya guys are just like, hey, we're a bunch of effectively faceless military dudes, I feel. I couldn't tell you anything about them apart from the girl seems to fancy Tanya, which is weird.
I don't know. I don't remember that being in the show.
Okay.
So I don't know where this came from.
I've never seen Tanya the Evil, but I don't know. Like, it seems to tout Tanya as a salaryman who got sent back into the body of a small girl. And I'm like, she's touted as generic, I know everything kind of protagonist superhero. And I'm like, no offense to salarymen out there, but you're just a salaryman, mate. How are you this smart?
It's not just that. Like, Tanya's got this weird thing where she seems to think her being a salaryman reincarnated in a not as technologically advanced world makes her better than everyone.
Yeah, no.
Except they've got magic, so fuck it.
Yeah, weird. It does not. It slightly inspires me to watch the show, but just to see what it even is.
It's kind of this, except she occasionally like sends people to their doom and is rather smug about it.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that interesting. Seems like it was a leftover, like, should we throw in Tanya? Yeah, I guess.
Just saying, next year could be now for me if they do a sequel.
That'd be cool. I'll be alright with that.
Giant chicken.
You just wouldn't trust anyone.
No, we shouldn't trust anyone in this context.
Hi, I'm Aqua. Let's be friends. Okay. No, Narufumi! You
Kazuma,
fool!
Kazuma just grabs him saying, like, no!
You damned fool. No, Kazuma would be like, yes, take her. Take her.
Please.
You're friends now. She loves you. You can marry her and take her away from me. Take her away.
He'd miss her if she was gone. He wouldn't. It would take a while, and he'd never admit it, but he'd miss her.
It would definitely take a while.
I still think that the last thing in the world he'll ever see is her. Because she'll have killed him.
I was going to say, that is a horrible nightmare. That is a description of hell, Mikey.
Yeah, there's some. I don't know if it's actually in the anime. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, but someone said like there's a scene in the book or the anime somewhere of like someone insults Aqua, it makes her cry, so Kazuma drop kicks them. And I want to see this because I just like, oh,
that's quite nice.
It is.
Only I am allowed to insult Aqua.
This is my target.
Yes. Oh, I watched, actually at the end of last week's show, I watched I said I was going to watch the movie. I was wrong. I was like, oh, it's not the movie. I'm an idiot. The movie's not out until this year in October or something. I watched the OVA for season 2, where they go into a dungeon that has a giant robot, and they find this ruins, and inside are like things that you hang inside the toilet to make them smell nice from our time, and like other weird things. And they find out that it was do you remember the old man who made the giant spider tower thing from season 1?
Yeah.
It was his place. And they find a diary of his from when he was originally appeared in the world, and he could make anything he wanted, and then he just couldn't be bothered to beat the Demon King. So he tried to make robot waifus for himself, and then realized that he was into misogyny. Like he liked the dominatrixes, so they find a robot maid, which was his ultimate work, and it's like, who's my master? And Kazuma's like, I am your master. And then she pulls out a whip and goes, okay. And he's like, oh no.
Darkness is just like, nope, no, it's me.
Darkness has her things flicked by the giant robot. And she's like, oh no, they're gone numb. And then she's flicked away.
Oh, I haven't seen this OVA.
It's fun. It's like I haven't felt such disgrace in a long time, with such shameful eyes watching my disgrace. And Kazuma like, it wasn't sleazy eyes. You know what Darkness is like. Bless her.
Yeah,
she's an angel.
The one woman who is just openly sexual around him, and it's the one woman he's always like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Poor Kazuma.
Poor Darkness. All of them are mentally fucked. All of them.
I love the idea of like, hey, who are the protagonists of our show? Oh.
Yeah, they're literally the worst people you could have. Not in terms of morally bad, just
they're
terrible.
Lovely people within a certain context.
Yes. Amazing.
Anyway, Aqua was lovely somewhere.
No.
Beneath the need to be like the center of life.
Oof, yeah. I think her religion around her really speaks to her as a person, though.
I think there should be more people disillusioned about the idea of religious belief by meeting Aqua.
You'd think, well, they don't believe she's a goddess. Anyway, I think this is a good time to end the podcast, and once again recommend that people go and watch Konosuba if you want a fun time. It is a very fun, amusing anime. We both like it.
Yes.
Not safe for work, though.
No. Not safe for life.
No. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo. You can find me on YouTube as UWolfie3. If you want to leave us some feedback, you can send us an email on the moonbase2@gmail.com. You can send us a message on Twitter, Facebook, all those social medias and things. Andy, what about you?
You can find me on Twitter, CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, like Mikey said, the other places you can contact us. You can also head over to YouTube with Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. If you want to watch us that way, you can do. And you can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you get Moonbase Woo Woo, which that was something I did this week. I edited the show. Well, I put up the show that you edited and whatnot, which was you and Mr. Jason Kirk doing what, Mikey?
We were talking about some Godzilla stuff, sort of a beginner's guide to some Godzilla monsters and a review of 2014. We both like it, but we both also kind of want to see monsters fuck stuff up in the next movie.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, fuck off. That there is a version of that monster I like, and it ain't in that movie.
No.
But yeah, it's out here on Wednesday, so don't suck.
Mikey is excited.
I'm feeling better. I like the first negative reviews started coming out. I'm feeling better because the negative reviews were like, well, the monsters were in a lot of it, and I didn't feel there was enough human drama.
Do you think you'll want to do a woo-woo just talking about that film? Or do you think it'll depend on the film itself?
I don't know. Do
you think you're going to wait until... I think you should wait until the movie comes out and then maybe decide like if you want to do a woo-woo or just talk about it on the main show.
Like, I think I'll probably see it twice, at least.
Yeah. Unless it's shit. Unless it's
really
I think...
Because I want to see it on the big screen, like max screen, at least once.
Oh, IMAX.
Because I saw the original on IMAX.
Oh, no, Mikey. You damned fool.
That was big.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, I
also with people who didn't know that Godzilla had atomic breath.
What?
Which was a straight.
Well, I suppose. Oh man, that might mean they only know of the '90s American Godzilla, which would be
maybe,
depressing.
but they came out saying like, "Did he always do that?" And I remember I actually stopped and looked over.
Did you look really angry? You just turn over your head over your shoulder. You put your bottom lip up to your top lip, and you yell, tears in the corners of your eyes. You don't know shit.
Run over to the dust cloud.
Backer. Right. Also, on Patreon, you can get From the Files of Teletron 2 a week early and extended, where we talk about non-Transformer comics for the Patreon people. And you can head over to ccbunker.weebly.com for all of this stuff as well. And if I'm on any other show, or if Mikey's on any other show, if we're invited, that's where it'll go. So, Mr. Mikey, thank you for joining me this week. Oh,
that reminds me. We make a guest appearance on Friday's transmissions.
Do we? Were you on that?
No, we both are.
Oh.
Listen to it, you'll know.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, we will catch you until, I guess then, next week, everybody.
Take care, kids.
Bye-bye.